So this video is on how to create the phone number program that we did in class using paper and pencil. We're going to do it on Excel, where Excel is going to do all the calculation. It's going to automatically populate the phone number that you're trying to guess. Like anything that you ever do on the computer, always save your work. It's the very first thing you should always do. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to call this and in things in class, remember it's always your last name and the name of the assignment. So Mr. Alfaro, phone number. I have another file that I completed that already has phone number, so I'm going to call this phone number program 1. So it's saved. Notice in the middle of the file or the middle of the screen, you'll see the file name in there in the center. If you don't see that, that means it was not completely saved. So go back and do it again. All right. Now, as I go through this video, focus on the way we're organizing our work, because with any programming, you need to organize the components. That way you get the output that you need. So the first thing I'm going to do is title this program, almost like titling a video game. So I'm going to call this Bet I Can Guess Your Phone Number. And we're just trying to get this work. Don't worry too much about formatting or make it look pretty. We want it to make it work first. All right. So the username or the program is going to start with them entering the first 3 digits. And I'm going to put a random phone number over here. So 945 7328. All right. So the first 2 digits that the username will put was be 945. And now I'm going to write calculations. Remember that there were several calculations that had to be complete. And I'm going to hover over the corner and scroll this down because Excel can predict that you want second and third to come after. So I'm going to do that, and then there is a final calculation. And remember steps 4, 5, and 6, the username, and we'll talk later about that. So the first calculation, recall, we're going to multiply, then we're going to add, and then multiply again, and then the last calculation is dividing. Pay attention to what's in the cell. If you notice, under cell A4 is the word A calculation, and if you look on the formula bar, you'll see that. However, if I go to B4, there's nothing in there because you did not enter that in B4. It may look like the last part of the word calculations in there, but it is not. Notice the formula bar is empty. Now I'm going to start making calculations. And now the first calculation, I'm going to go ahead and grab C2 because that's the number I need. And in Excel, the way that you multiply, you use the asterisk, which is Shift 8. There's the asterisk. Oh, actually, we don't have any numbers that is going to multiply that. So we need to actually delete that. And remember that the first thing we're going to multiply is 80, add 1. Then multiply 250 and divide by 2. And you'll see why I needed those numbers. Because now I can say, okay, I'm going to multiply C2 by, remember asterisk is Shift 8, by D4. Notice both numbers are highlighted, letting you know that, hey, these are the numbers I'm going to multiply. I'm going to hit do enter. Then I'm going to add 1. So I'm going to grab that number E4. Before we've been doing addition using the word sum. Let's use the addition symbol, which is Shift and the equal key. And I'm going to add D5. Notice both numbers are highlighted. Equal, so it's going to do that. And now I'm going to grab that number, E5, and I'm going to multiply by D6. and hit enter. Now at this point, the user does the other three calculations, but we're going to set it up where Excel does it. But we're not going to do it on the same worksheets. We're going to do it on another worksheet, almost like a video game has multiple screens. We're going to put another worksheet, and these are called worksheets down here, these tabs, and I could add multiple worksheets. I only need 2, so let me delete this. And a group of worksheets in Excel is called a workbook. Think of almost like your notebook, how it has many pages, and then the entire thing is called a notebook. All right, here we're going to title this user calculation, and we're going to tell the user, hey, enter last 4 digits. Okay. All right. And the last 4 digits is 7328. So 7328. All right. Now, if you recall, this is the 4th calculation, and I'm going to hover over this and have Excel do the rest. It's 4, 5, and 6, and then you do the 7th and last calculation. So if you recall, we're going to add, and then we subtract, and we add the last 4 digits. The last 4 digits are already on the screen, which is C2. So I'm only going to put C2 because it's already there. C2, and then I subtract 250. Now I'm going to put equal. Now remember, I need this number over here. I need this number over here, and it's located under E6. I'm going to put equals sheet 1 exclamation mark, and the reason why I'm putting that is because E6 is located, or the number I needed is located in sheet 1 or worksheet 1. And I'm going to put E6, and I'm going to add D4, and there's my new number. And now I'm going to do the same thing. Now I'm going to grab actually E4, and I'm going to add D5, and there's the number I needed. And now I'm going to grab E5, and I'm going to subtract D6. And there's that new number. Now I need this new number for sheet 1 to complete my final calculation. So over here, I'm going to put equals, and I'm going to actually, let's remember where that number is, and that number is actually located in E6 under worksheet 2. So I'm going to put sheet 2 exclamation mark, which is shift 1, E6, or divided, and the way that Excel does division is the backslash or the forward slash, divided by 2, and there is that new number. Notice I got 9457328, which is exactly what I should get. However, let's clean this up because I only needed the last 4 digits. So let's put last 4 digits, and let's do a little math. Now I need to subtract 945. I mean the 945, and just have the 7328. And by using math, I can do E9 or E7, wrong one, and I'm going to subtract the 945. Now, in order to subtract to 945, I need to multiply C2 by 10,000. And there it is. And the reason why I do that, think about this. If I multiply, and let's use Excel as my calculator, if I multiply 945 times 10,000, I get 9,450,000. Now, if I take that number, if I take E7 minus F9, I get those last 4 digits, which is using math. You're just subtracting those first 3 digits by using some math. All right, so those are my last 4 digits which is what I needed. Now let's clean this up even more to make it more presentable, because phone numbers usually don't look like this. They look like this, where I typed it and it had the little dash in the middle. So let's put, almost like it's an application or a video game, your phone number is, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab under E7, I'm going to grab that number, that 9457328 that I just calculated, and I'm going to separate it. And the way I'm going to do that is by getting C2, the and symbol, which is Shift 7, quotation marks. And the reason I'm using quotation mark is because you're letting Excel know, hey, give me whatever number is on there. I don't want the formula. I just need whatever is inside that cell. Dash to separate the two numbers with the dash. Then quotation mark, Shift 7, and C9, which is the rest of the number, and I'm going to put equal. And there it is. It cleaned it up for me. All right. So let's test this out with a different number, and let's see if our formula is working. So let's, and this is the power of Excel, let's say that the number is 7341892. So the first 3 digits is 734. It changed, and the last 4 is 1892. So the person will go to the other screen and put 892. And let's see if it shows up, and there it is. So it did work. So now you know it works. Now we're going to format it. I'm not going to show you how to format it. Format it how you think it's best, or what you think is more presentable. So I'm going to let you use your creativity. However, if you saw the first video where you did the survey table, I talk about how to format on Excel. So make sure you take a look at that. Now let me show you how I did it before. So this is how I had formatted, and notice under, when I formatted it, I changed some colors because I wanted the user to pay attention on. I put that red to pay attention that they need to enter the first 3 digits, and then I formatted this. I made that red to let the username, make sure you put your first or your last 4 digits, and notice if I test it, so let me put 295-7469. Let's see if my program is still working. 295, and then 7469, 7469, and let's see. Let's see if I got it, and there it is, 295-7469. So my program is working. It's already formatted. Now you can use this with other people, where you could tell them, hey, put your first 3 digits there, and have them go to the next sheet and put their last 4 digits, and once they do that, tell them to go back to sheet 1. That way they could see their new number populate. Now you could rename these sheets. So I'm going to rename this as first screen, and then I'm going to rename this as user screen, so that way they have names, and that will be the end of my program.